It's Animu time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today we're going to have a look at the s.h.figuarts younger Toguro at 100%. This is one of the main villains of the anime manga Yu Hakusho, and honestly always been my favorite because in his regular form he already looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator, but then in his 100% form he looks like freaking the Hulk. Big, muscly, dominant dude. And while I would have preferred the regular version, I'm definitely interested in getting this guy out of the box and having a look at it. So, without further ado, let's get into the review. And while you're already here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It really helps me out, you know, engaging with the video shows YouTube that you actually enjoy this kind of stuff and then promotes it. Now for the question of the day, who is your favorite Yu Hakusho villain? Man, do you see it? Do you feel it? The anime proportions are crazy on this guy. So he stands at about a little over 18 centimeters to the top of the head. So for your inches, we are going up to 7 point, almost 3 short of it. Size comparisons.
Here's Jolter, the s.h.figuarts Son Goku, Yusuke Urameshi, Classic Broly, Storm Collectibles Yujiro Hanma, and Darkseid.
So I just want to go back real quick to Yusuke, which is always like the big question. Did they do correct on size? And you know, it's always hard to find a good picture, but judging on this one I found over here, I think they did alright. Obviously also Toguro has a smaller head and whatnot, but that's as it is in the anime. Like, he has the classic anime big guy look. Tiny head, big bulging muscles. I don't know why they did that so often, but that was like a thing. Look up a bunch of old school animes and even some new stuff. Yeah, always like you have the big muscle, maybe to distract from the, maybe to make the muscles look bigger. I don't know. Anyway, I think they nailed it aesthetically. He has like very long legs, big muscles. Maybe the shoulders could be even a bit wider. Maybe I'm imagining it in a different way. But I felt like Toguro always was insane. It's just like, and this guy is big, don't get me wrong, but you know, maybe he's not quite there. Also, one thing I'm missing, he has like always one weird strain that's hanging out from the arm. And we don't have that. No matter which way I look at the arm, we don't have that. So, okay. Now, let's go back to the basics and have a look at the detail one by one. First and foremost, looking at the face sculpt. This is not really the most menacing face sculpt. It looks really bored, even though they try to make like an intense stare. You know, it's fine. Then we have all the veiny stuff or whatever I'm calling what's going on in his face. Has like the spiky haircut, which looks nice. Has a bunch of detail also on top of that. And obviously as we go to the back. Now, one thing that's kind of distracting, and it shines through a lot more under the camera, under the ring light, than it does in regular life, but I did still notice that the neck seems to be a little bit more glossy than the rest of the figure. What's up with that? I don't really know. Then we have all the muscle work in the chest area and all these little strings that go around. We have a bunch of stuff to cover up the articulation, and it looks amazing in the back. It also has this 2 little tubes on the side of the neck. Never really quite understood what that was for, like, design-wise. It's almost like Boo, where I expect some smoke to come out of that. Then we go down to the forearms, which, again, I feel like there's something missing. You have a regular big fist, has, like, some good detail also in that. And the six-pack, beautiful. Down to his pants, which, once again, do look a lot more glossy, which I think is fine to really distract, to really elevate it from the rest of the figure, make it stand out. I think like elevate was a weird word to say that, but anyway, we do have the belt buckle in there, down to a fairly flat butt. But once again, looking on the camera, I feel like the crotch part is a little bit more shiny than the rest of the figure. Then we do have the ripped pants with some more muscle detail in there, and down to his regular black shoes. Overall, I think he looks good. Gotta admit, the articulation is kind of crazy. First and foremost, the head. Let me hold on to the neck and show you just the head itself. Goes back and forth, if I can get a good hold on it, but goes back and forth. You can shift the ball in there. It is like a ball hinge connected to like another ball on like a peg. So again, there's a lot going on, and they hollowed it out quite nicely. So as such, you can rotate it all the way around. Can swivel it, and back and forth motion is quite nice on his little tiny head. And then we have also the neck is on a ball joint, so you can bring that. Let's combine these two, bring it forward, bring it to the back, and then all the way off. But there you can see, you have a peg on there, and then you have the ball joint, ball hinge, and then like another ball. It's nice and tight also, by the way. The figure feels good. I didn't have any trouble moving it around. It feels fluent, feels fun to pose. And then we have a butterfly joint, so you can bring the big arm all the way forward for some nice punching poses. And you can also rotate it on the socket. Now what they have for the shoulder joints, you are not prepared. You are not prepared. Also, I wasn't. So let me see if I can move this down. Yes, so you have a joint which is connected to the hinge. As such, you can move the shoulder pad up and down on the hinge. And then it ends also on a ball. So you can also swivel it around. Well, mostly swivel. You get a little bit of rotation on the top, but not really that much. But as such, I feel like this is pretty good. It always lines up. It never feels out of place. And doesn't get in the way too much. And also the hinge on there is pretty darn stiff. So again, it doesn't flop around, and I had my issues with floppy messes recently. Have a bicep swivel, double hinged elbow, and the fist is on a ball hinge, so you can bring that up and down, but you can also swivel it on the fist, and you can also swivel it on the wrist if you want to. If you just hold on to it, you can also swivel it on both sides. Now the only part which doesn't really do that much is the big chest. You can still bring it backward for some powering up. Anyway, yeah, backward movement is quite nice. Forward movement, almost non-existent. Does tilt side to side and does swivel a fair amount. Then for the hip part, again, they hollowed it out quite nicely around the pants, so it is super nimble, can bring it forward. Again, if you combine it with the chest, forward motion isn't that great. Backward motion is pretty good, actually. And then also tilt side to side and can be swiveled. No issues there. For the leg, let's see. If you rotate it out, you get like quite a nice high kick. And we move it out to the side, got the joint covering it up. And we move it to the back, also soft plastic on the butt. So still get a very nice movement to the back. And also can rotate it. I actually cannot rotate it on this part. It is on a ball, but I guess all the joints in there and also this covering up is kind of holding this back. But fear not, we do have a thigh swivel, which goes a little bit in an angle, I feel like. It doesn't like completely straight, but it does look pretty good. And then we have double hinge knees, and the foot is on another ball hinge, which also ends on a ball, so you can rotate the entire ball hinge around, shift it back and forth, and then we do have the hinge in there. Let's move it forward, let's shift it forward, and then move it to the back, and also tilts side to side with a toe hinge. For the accessories, you're not getting that much, but what you're getting is pretty good. First and foremost, you do get some face sculpts. First and foremost, the angry, gritting T-face. And then the face where it just gets punched in the face. I love the deformation on that. Look at how it's shaped, like getting punched straight in the face. And then we also get a maniacal laughter. But also, we do get a Yusuke face where he gets punched in the face from the other side. I think there's one of the scene where they do like the epic, like I punch you and you punch me at the same time. And they're getting rocked, and I love these expressions actually, especially the Yusuke one. Like, look at all the line work and the eyes and whatnot. This one looks really clean. Then we have open hands for booby grab hands, and then like kinda open booby grab hands, but a little bit more folded, a little bit more posy, and the one pointy finger. Did he ever do like the spirit gun himself? I don't remember, but it kind of looks like a spirit gun pose. Can I put the spirit gun effect part? That's probably like, yeah, hole's too small. Anyway, final thoughts. This figure is good. Go out and buy it. Okay, no, but seriously, I don't have any complaints with this guy. Just like with the Yusuke figure, I found myself really impressed by a design that he's a lot busier than the Yusuke one, but you know, it's a big guy with pants, right? It's fun to handle. Articulation works very well. Joints are nice and tight, and the accessories, you know, it's not super duper 20 hands or 5 faces, but I think what we're getting at the price point is really good, because I don't need 20 hands. I feel like the faces have a lot of personality. Well, especially the one where he gets punched in the face. That one's really cool, and to add like a Yusuke face to go with that, that also is really cool because, you know, they beat the snot out of each other, and for the figure to acknowledge that and be like, yeah, let's have a really freaking deformed face and add one for Yusuke as well. That's really cool. I like it, and I like this figure. I have nothing really to complain. Maybe could be a little bit bigger, but even there, I'm not really sure. I feel like the package that we're getting is really good. So, you know, I'm not gonna ramble any further. I think this figure's great, and I really hope that we're getting more. I don't think there's anything been announced beyond 100% Toguro. I'm really hoping that Yusuke and Toguro aren't the only ones that we're getting, because if they want to go deeper into this line, I'm all for it, and if they keep up the level of quality on how they've been releasing these guys, that would be a killer lineup. But yeah, anyway, recommended. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Toguro 100% wants.